Hello, and welcome to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. I am your host, Michael Ornelas.
And I'm your host, Garrett Zwerk.
And we have a guest with us today, and we'll get to her. She can wait.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
VyVy Nguyen, welcome to the Fine Dining Podcast.
Thank you.
I'm mad at you for... I was like, hey, I think we want you to come with us to Sizzler. And like, you didn't suggest Sizzler, but your immediate response was, I love Sizzler.
I never said I had good taste.
That's fair. You choose to go out to eat with us, so clearly your tastes are mediocre at best, which is the point of this podcast. We are looking for the most mediocre restaurant in the country, all those chain restaurants that we grew up with, shoving into our gullets and getting larger and closer to death every single day.
These are my all-time favorite places to find out my aunt and uncle are getting divorced.
Yeah, we're talking places like Chili's, Applebee's, Denny's, the like.
Yeah, Applebee's is the most mediocre restaurant we have found to date.
Currently, it's sitting at a 5.02 out of 10. We are looking for the perfect 5.00 out of 10.
And we are rating these based on the atmosphere,
the service,
and the food.
There it is.
Hey.
I wasn't expecting to be put on the spot like that.
You know the drill. You're uneasy saying food because we're not sure if we can call what we ate yesterday food.
I think you're being very harsh on Sizzler.
I think Sizzler's getting what they deserve. Now, if you do want more from us, we are going to extra places and putting them out on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/finediningpodcast. This month, we're chronicling our journey to the LA County Fair.
Woo,
which
that's
was
a lot of grease.
It was a full day of just trying a lot of stuff.
Fine dining party of 3.
For now, our table is ready, but we'll be back right after the intro.
Your table is ready, follow me. Have you tried our chicken breast? Serving pancakes and ribs, I recommend the spaghetti. We're here to satisfy, not to impress. Your table is ready, complimentary butter and bread. These walls have road signs, knick-knack, cowboy hat, good luck cat, autographed guitar, some crap from your city. Behold the tchotchke of mediocrity. Fine dining, just fine dining, fine dining. 2 letters on the sign are shining, neon flickering, irregular timing. Identify the perfect 5 out of 10. Fine dining, fine dining.
First impressions.
Garrett was the first one to arrive, right?
I drive into this labyrinth of a parking lot. The lines aren't straight. It's not parallel. Nothing makes sense. There's a car literally parked diagonally in a spot that's not a parking spot, blocking off half of the path to go through one direction. I don't know what's happening. I hate driving. I hate cars. This was a mess.
My favorite part about this is I know that you're really fussy when it comes to anything driving related, but if I carry any more credibility by being less fussy and more patient with driving, I can say this parking lot was an absolute mess. It was a nightmare. VyVy, when you pulled up, we were just like running like we pulled out like the orange flight tarmac guy.
We almost
lightsabers
moved cars to give you more space.
Yeah, it was like Tetris.
It was, yeah, and none of us had the straight piece, so.
No, well, everything was at a different angle, which was throwing me off.
Nightmare of a parking lot, and then to kind of rub it in your face, there's just a big sign that says "Celebrate Steak and Lobster" right below on the marquee, below the Sizzler sign, and it's like, I don't think you've earned the right to say anything about celebrating. Like, this isn't a place you go to celebrate. This is a place you go to mourn.
We have a real-life example of this later.
Oh, God.
The birthday party.
Yeah,
which we will talk about.
Garrett, you went directly to the bathroom.
This was about as clean as a Dodger Stadium bathroom.
Oh, no.
By like the 6th inning. This wasn't like a start of day baseball stadium bathroom.
Oh, there was paper all over the floor. I walk in, the sink's just running. No one had turned it off previously. So I'm like, oh, is this the way it's supposed to go? At least I didn't have to touch the sink to turn it on.
Now,
Maybe there was an invisible man washing his hands.
oh, maybe.
Yeah, so I got
Wouldn't
real
be caught
close.
dead at a Sizzler, so he's like, oh, I'm gonna activate my powers because I don't want to be seen here. I went into the bathroom later, nightmare lighting. It felt like I was walking into like a David Lynch truck stop, if those two words can go together. It felt like a place where you just go and you're like, I need to spend as little time in this room as possible for my safety.
It was a very different energy. It was the same in the women's restroom and paper towels everywhere as well. I didn't know what was going on. Just
Like
clearly
the floor, the counter.
The floor,
in the
bins
toilet.
were overflowing. Someone had not come in to check this bathroom in days.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think anyone wants to go in there.
What's also funny is there's like a sign on the back of the door that's like, we hold ourselves to a higher standard for hygiene. Let an employee know if anything needs tending to. I was like, I think they know. And there's like carved in graffiti into said sign. Who's carving stuff in a bathroom? I've never understood that. Like, does that happen in women's restroom where there's like carved in graffiti?
I feel like it's more pens.
Oh, there's so much like carved in stuff on like stall walls and stuff like that.
It's like the
Men's-
caveman in you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I used to write poetry in bar bathroom stalls with a Sharpie.
Was it good poetry or was it drunk poetry? Or both?
Why not both? Yeah.
Now, I have to give an award for this bathroom, Garrett. You
Oh,
know
wow.
what award I'm going to
Oh,
give.
yeah.
I have to give out this week's This Is Way Too Much award.
This is
The height of the urinal in the men's restroom was obscene. Like, my is not that high. It's not like...
Well, yours isn't.
Well, you'd have to be like 6'5" to have like, oh, comfortable, like, it just starts. You pull your pants down and just the lip of the urinal, which is the last thing you want to touch.
It's at dong level.
It's at dong level.
Like-
These are dong urinals.
Oh, nightmare scenario. You take it out, you touch the lip of the
Oh.
urinal. Oh.
That's
I don't have a penis, but that sounds awful.
not only is it awful, it's way too much. Then you come back out, all right? I'm arriving, and there's a salesman on, like, the front deck of this Sizzler. VyVy, you weren't here yet,
I know, I'm really sad I missed this.
but it's a guy on a bike with, like, almost like a handlebar covered in hand-woven bracelets that he's trying to sell.
and knockoff Lakers memorabilia.
Yeah, just like different sports team hats. I think he just had like 3 that he was just palming. And this older couple walked out of the Sizzler and he kind of just approached them and started holding up the bracelets and talking. And they kind of looked at him like, no, of course we're not going to buy this. And then eventually he just kind of rode away. But he was also making deep eye contact with me while you were inside. And I was just like,
Did you ever acknowledge his presence?
yeah.
Okay.
But it's also like, you're not going to make a sale to me, dude. I'm all good with bracelets. I don't need more bracelets. I have 0, but I'm
I
not
think
a
that's
bracelet
why
guy.
he was making eye contact with you.
He's like, yo, bro, you got to accessorize
Yeah.
more.
You have a lack in your life, and I've got the solution. Put out your hand.
Bracelets. Oh, if only he had like the little
Oh, the
slap
slap,
bracelets.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, God, that'd be fun. And then he kind of went away. VyVy showed up. I talked about him, and you were like, you had no proof he existed as far as you're
I
concerned.
know, he sounded like you just made him up.
You know, that's what this whole podcast is. It's all just a fever dream of mine. Garrett, you're something that I dreamed up in a nightmare.
Oh.
Yes, I am a nightmare to this world.
And then on the door before we go in, there's like the hours of the establishment written.
Yes.
And every single, like it had 3 different sets of hours. It had its Monday to Thursday hours, its Friday, Saturday hours, its Sunday hours. And in every single set, there was information missing. It says, hours we sizzle, Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9, and then both of the minute digits
Are missing.
are missing. But it says PM. So 9-something PM, maybe just 9.
9:27 p.m.
Could be 9:27. We don't know.
9:59.
Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to something 00 p.m.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
fill
an-
in the blank.
This
It's
is
an
like a
after
cool party.
hours place.
This
yeah.
is like when you get a party that goes till question mark. Sizzler's the cool kid on weekends. Their parents aren't home and they've got a keg. And then Sunday, 10 a.m. to 9, and again, was there a shortage on these little vinyl digits that they have? And they're just like, oh, in this economy, we're going to be efficient.
I think you're just trying to box Sizzler in. Let them have the hours they want. You don't need to restrict their flow.
I didn't realize Sizzler was all hippy-dippy.
Yeah, you're being the man to Sizzler right
Being
now.
real judgmental, Michael.
I am the man to Sizzler. That's true. So we go inside. The first thing I'm seeing is like artsy photos of like asparagus. And then the second photo is this really sensual photo of a woman like with just lust in her eyes, feeding her partner, presumably, something on a fork.
Maybe not
from
her
Sizzler.
partner, Michael.
Maybe not.
Maybe a total stranger.
I'm not going to judge what level of relation she has with this guy required to be sensual. That photo, we'll put it on our Instagram, but it really tickled me because it's just kind of a new level of sensuality I haven't experienced at any of these places yet.
Both you guys will see soon. Sizzler just knocks it out the park with their advertising.
Do they?
I'll pull up a commercial in a bit.
Ooh.
Nice. So then we get past all of these photos. You see a big menu on the wall. The menu's incomplete. There is nowhere on the menu that it tells you where the sides are.
Yeah, and what I realized too was there was a tiny, tiny menu when you get to the register that has the sides, but you would not know to look at it.
I saw
Not
that
at
tiny
all.
menu and I even scoured it and didn't see sides there. I guess I didn't look at the other side of it. I don't know.
It was very small.
Yeah. It's like they know their food isn't great, so they're just hiding as much of it as possible. Yeah, I was very overwhelmed looking at this menu because I'm overwhelmed by the fact that you have to know what you order before you sit down. I like to sit down, settle in, take notes, take in the atmosphere, then pick up a menu, start figuring out what I want. And Sizzler was not conducive to that. You walk in, it's a line. I'm waving people past me. It's Lubies all over
It
again.
is.
At least I don't have a cone of shame on my neck this time, but I still wasn't a fan of the layout. I get the layout. Like, I'm not knocking them for the layout. It's a common process at some restaurants. It's a certain style.
But yeah, we were stuck in the line trying to figure out what we wanted, and other people, we had to tell them to go past us because we weren't ready.
Which is always a weird thing because they always look confused yet grateful. And those two emotions right next to each other are always kind of like, you don't really know how to take it in because you feel like a zoo animal being stared at, but also you feel like a zoo animal being appreciated because, you know, you're a rare breed.
Hey, as long as we get noticed, okay.
I know that is your mindset. But yeah, I was feeling overwhelmed by the layout. I ended up figuring it out eventually, but it was one of those things where I was just like, you guys figure out what you want, and then I'll take the scraps. I'll take what other menu items we're going to want to talk about. I don't care what I end up getting. There was a sidebar on it that said the taste of the tropics.
Yes, because Sizzler is so known for their tropical
For
menu.
their exotic,
It is.
departures. Yeah. It felt like it was reaching for sure. Which, by the way, it was presented as 4 unique menu items, but then when you look closer, it's steak and menu item 1, steak and menu item 2, or just menu item 1 on its own, menu item 2 on its own. So they're really stretching it thin to be like, oh, we've got this whole section. It's 2 things.
So they're Taco Belling it.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's just the same elements repackaged in different ways over and over and over again.
But they put like sand and palm trees behind it.
Yeah, they're going to say in it. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that sounds like
Yeah.
Sizzler.
That'll improve the taste.
My steak tastes sandy, and that feels appropriate. Yeah.
Maybe that would tenderize it.
Yeah. Well, Garrett, if you don't mind, could you tenderize us with some information about the background of Sizzler?
Ooh.
Can you beat our meat into a cookable texture?
Say that again.
Can you? Oh, wait, I see what I said.
Wait, did you not realize what you said?
Shh. Garrett, can you hit us with Rusty Fact Roundup?
Let's. Yeah.
As we all know, my mom is not a fan of the abrasive whip sound that we use to round up Rusty Facts. It doesn't mean we're not whipping them into submission, but it does mean that we're replacing the sound effect of it. So instead of the whip noise, we're going to replace it with the first sound we each feel when we think of Sizzler. No.
The first Sizzler opened up in Culver City, California in 1958.
Oh, close.
That's the year my dad was born. Sorry, Dad. Didn't mean to out your age, but you're old. You're better than Sizzler, Dad.
I think most things are.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not discount the compliment to my dad.
Oh, well, okay. Sorry. I was not dissing your dad. I'm so sorry.
VyVy in the house, just dad dissing up in
I was
here.
dissing Sizzler as much as I love Sizzler.
No.
Sizzler started off wildly successful, and by 1965, they were up to 100 locations, mostly in California.
Wow.
107 years?
Yes.
Wait.
That's a good pace.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
not only, this was late 50s, early 60s 100 locations.
Yeah. Because like Mendocino Farms is doing really well for today, and they're
they
at
had,
around
like,
100 locations in 9 or 10
Yeah.
years. No.
People loved their 99-cent steak dinner, which is about $10 in today's money. So, a $10 steak dinner, that's a good deal.
When I think steak, I'm not really looking for deals.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
you know that the discount is directly proportionate to the... Well, that's not true. There are some very good steaks that don't break the
And-
bank.
I'll say at this point in Sizzler's history, their meat was quality, and they
At
were
that point.
at that point they were just
Just
an
60
affordable
years
mom
ago.
and pop home style steak restaurant.
Okay.
Okay.
And for that 99 cents, you got a steak, a baked potato, and a dinner roll.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, like
I
that-
appreciate both of those sides. If I could pick two sides to put with almost anything, baked potato and a dinner roll,
Yeah.
Yeah.
coming in strong.
Like I would take that over a Big Mac meal. Like,
yeah.
It's cheaper than a Big Mac meal.
Now. Yeah. No.
An excerpt from a franchise guide, which is a literal directory encyclopedia of American franchise opportunities from 1970, describes the restaurant as the following. Sizzler Family Steakhouses is the originator of the moderately priced, fast service, limited hours, and menu steak operation and is a leader in the field with over 170 units operating in the United States.
Leader in the field sounds like something I would never describe what Sizzler as.
But this was in 1970.
Uh-huh.
Limited hours.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hours are.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Nothing's changed.
That's been their MO since the beginning. It's like, we're not going to tell you.
And in the fiscal year of 1970, they were projecting sales exceeding $30 million with an average of 2 new restaurants opening every single month.
Whoa.
And at that time, the growth plan calls for 300 units at home and abroad by 1974, which, spoiler alert, they never hit that number.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, when did the downfall start?
Oh,
The next year.
here, we're going to get into the downfall
Uh-oh.
soon, but let's have a little more fun
Okay, okay.
first. So,
Still enjoy we're still on
The
the, up
ride.
part
We're
of the
still on
roller
the up part,
coaster.
yeah,
We're
it's
hearing
still
the
getting better.
click, 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 click. Yeah. Was that your butthole tightening for
Cool.
when you get to the top of the
Yeah.
roller coaster? No.
They grew and adapted. They added a salad bar in the late 70s, and they shifted focus to an all-you-can-eat buffet style, or what they called a buffet court in the early 90s. The goal was kind of to have a restaurant within a restaurant. So they had 2 clear delineations. There was the grill section and the buffet section. And they introduced this entire concept with the most 90s promo video ever. Let's
Yeah?
play it.
Ooh.
All across America, the song of freedom rings. Sizzler is the one who brings us choices.
All over America, a quiet revolution has been taking place. They want choices, variety, all at a reasonable price.
Sizzler brings the choices that you've been looking for by holding to traditions, yet changing with the times.
We've truncated this video for both copyright and time reasons, so if you want to check the whole thing out, the link is in the description of this episode.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa. Whoa.
A restaurant within a restaurant. Okay.
Whoa, what did I just watch?
For those of you listening, go look up Sizzler promotional commercial 1991 on YouTube. You will not regret it. It is 4 minutes and 41 seconds long. It is perfection. This is wild.
It is the most 90s commercial you will ever see. The hair is so good.
If you weren't alive in the 90s and you were curious, check this out. If you were alive in the 90s and you want to relive it, check this out.
I don't know if this was the 90s. It was so patriotic, like so overly patriotic.
It was.
This feels like the type of like, you know, in North Korea where they play like videos that are totally just meant to brainwash you to think.
Yeah, I totally know that. That was my childhood.
Yeah. This is the American equivalent of that.
Yes.
Sizzler.
A restaurant within a restaurant.
Based on freedom.
I like that they're doing like restaurantception. That's what Sizzler is.
Like, they said the word choice like 6 or 7 times. Freedom about the same amount. America.
There were so many like subliminal buzzwords in there.
There are also a lot of weird like subplots. If you're just looking at some of these characters they brought into this promotional spot.
This is pretty deep for something that had no depth.
A third of the characters in here are like having torrid affairs. It's pretty clear.
It was
Almost all of them.
sexy.
Yeah.
Almost all of
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
No people of color. Well, a few. Like
A few. Yeah.
Just-
2.
Yeah, just a token amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all didn't see anyone that resembled anything like you, right?
I thought he did, but
resembled
she
anything
didn't.
like you.
Yeah, what does
I
that mean?
Y'all are Asian. You know that.
They don't know that.
This isn't
They don't know what I
news.
look like.
Your last name. I said it.
You,
I
if you look
have-
at Garrett's last
Yeah,
name,
I'm a
you
German
would
person
not
last
presume
name.
he was
Oh
Asian.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm canceled
Yeah,
for
get out of
mentioning
here.
race at all.
We got this.
Yeah. It's now an Asian-only podcast.
Oh no, he's leaving.
You guys take it. You got it.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll just keep going with Rusty Facts.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Wait, no, actually come back. Come back. Oh no, he's left.
You guys got it.
All right.
Michael, come back.
I know. Michael, come back.
We don't have the rights to that.
Oh. Well,
Okay, well, okay.
I guess we're going to proceed without
Okay,
him.
we'll just keep going.
He's
So-
gone to the kitchen.
We'll let him get some...
Some
I don't know.
snacks.
He's just opening up cupboards and looking at them and closing half of them. Just leaving one door askew.
All I have is sauces.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see a lot of spaghetti sauce.
No, these are sauces.
Oh, okay, salsas. Tomato sauces.
Do you just like take spoons and eat your sauces?
Ooh, he's very adept with spoons, as we learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
all right.
we'll continue. There are currently 81 locations in 7 states and Puerto Rico, which is down from a peak of 270 back in the 80s.
Whoa, there were a lot.
Yeah, they never hit their 300 goal, but still, they got close.
But you're saying in Puerto Rico?
Oh, no.
Oh,
and
oh.
in Puerto Rico.
Oh, and Puerto
They're
Rico.
like-
I was like, why does Puerto Rico have like so many Sizzlers?
They do, though. It's like 6 or 7 right now in Puerto Rico, like, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's.
When you think about it,
You
that's
are
a
just
lot.
making so much noise over there. Are you just trying to come back, Michael?
He's just shoving things into his mouth.
He just wants to snack. This was your excuse to take a break.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Thanks.
Okay.
What I miss?
So,
something about Puerto Rico.
I misheard. I thought Puerto Rico had like 100 some
200
locations.
Sizzlers.
You're back. Perfect time. Let's talk about the decline of Sizzler.
Oh, it
This,
begins.
this is why I came back. This is what I'm here for.
Mm.
So it peaked at about 270 back in the 80s. So when you think about it, this chain has been in decline as long as all of us have been alive.
Oh no.
We have never witnessed Prime Sizzler.
Oh my
I
gosh.
thought I had witnessed Prime Sizzler, but I hadn't.
Nope.
You thought that was
Well,
okay.
as a child, not now.
All right. If you say so.
You mean what we ate was not Prime Sizzler?
Lunchables are prime childhood food.
Yes.
No.
Sizzler has filed for bankruptcy twice.
Amaze.
Oh.
Amaze.
Yep.
Oh no.
Once in 1996, after the absolute failure of their buffet rebrand.
Wait, there was another rebrand?
This was the 1991 commercial. This rebrand here.
Got it.
So they made the mistake. During this process, they lowered their food quality.
Yeah, that doesn't ever seem like the right move.
No. The thing was, people are just making this buffet their entire meal. Okay, we don't need to focus on any of the other things.
Oh, shoot.
So then their stakes just plummeted.
So the first restaurant, not the restaurant within the restaurant, but the base restaurant was what they're like, we'll cut from there.
Yeah, we'll cut the thing we actually are.
Yeah.
And it's
The steakhouse. Yeah. Okay.
No.
During that time, they also introduced the garlic cheese bread.
Okay.
But this is what bugs me. The reason they wanted a cheap tool to fill up and coat your stomach at the beginning of the meal so you eat less.
Oh, Trixie.
Well, little did they know that us non-cheese lovers came on in as
We're immune.
sleeper agents to
I do feel like I'm in a safe space
right?
among you because I also don't like cheese.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You found your people.
I did.
No.
The second time they filed for bankruptcy was recently in 2020 due to the pandemic. Like, well,
Oh, that makes
yeah, a
sense.
lot of
Yeah, no
places
one's going to go
did.
to
They
a
do.
buffet when people are sick
because
with
they
COVID.
literally had to close all dining down. And how are you going to get takeout from a buffet?
Yeah, with that quality of meat. Yeah.
More,
They do it. They're on DoorDash.
Yeah.
They're on
They're on all
of
the
those
services.
things. We know this because we saw all of their designated counters.
But the
That were
whole time we
empty.
were there, we only
Yeah.
saw one DoorDash driver pick up food.
No.
In 2000, over 60 people contracted E. coli from a Milwaukee Sizzler,
Oh, no.
and one of them died.
Are
Wait,
you
what?
surprised? I mean, even by
What?
that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Didn't get sick. It just
Yet.
Yet.
It hasn't even been
Oh, it's like
24 full
percolating
hours.
inside.
Yeah.
It was just a meat cross-contamination issue somewhere.
Oh,
but
no.
yeah, 60 people, one location, Milwaukee.
So Sizzler killed someone.
Yeah. And it gets worse. And weirder.
Wait, no, how? Okay, go on.
No.
In 2006, all Australian Sizzlers temporarily shut down all of their salad bars after rat poison was found in soup and lettuce at 2 locations.
No. What?
How? Like, is that like a disgruntled, like, mass poisoner
Like someone
situation,
had,
or
like,
it was
rat
accidental?
Poison pellets in their soup. So, what happened? A 58-year-old woman was later arrested and charged with
Oh.
leaving the poison. But it gets weirder. She escaped from the mental institution she was being held at while
What?
awaiting trial.
This is like a movie.
This is the shit I came here for. When we went to Sizzler, these are the stories
Yes.
I expected, and they are
And you know
delivering.
what? She was never caught.
Whoa, she's still on the lam?
I assume she is because I scoured the internet. There is no mention of her being caught. The last mention of her is her escaping from a mental institution in 2007.
Oh my
Now, at the
God.
very least, this was Australia, so we've got a little bit of separation between
Well,
us.
who knows if she left Australia?
She may have. I'm just saying the world was literally her oyster, so it didn't have to be LA where she came. So I don't know. I feel like the odds of her being near us are small, but the odds of her being a listener of this wonderful podcast, very high. So please don't poison us if you're listening, which I know you are because everyone is.
The vast majority of Sizzler locations remaining are in California and around us.
She got away with her crime, okay? I don't think she's returning to Sizzler.
It tastes like she did.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it tasted like rat poison.
Well, thank God
No.
I didn't get the salad bar.
Yeah, rat poison tastes better, probably.
Oh.
Because then we don't have to try to digest this.
It says on his epitaph. Rat poison tastes better, probably. Garrett's work. No.
And one last fun note. Let's bring this out on something funny, not involving death
Okay.
or poison.
All right.
I don't know. Those were pretty funny.
No.
A former Iowa state senator once claimed a training course he took while working at Sizzler to be an actual business degree. A spokesman from the Iowa State Republicans described the situation as, this was a management course he took when he worked for Sizzler, kind of like Hamburger University at McDonald's.
Is it like you just watched a couple promotional videos,
Yeah.
like a driver's ed
Here's your
course?
certificate. This guy was actually elected to the Iowa State Senate and reelected.
Oh, no.
Is he still there?
Now, his second term ended in 2018.
And that will do it for this week's Resty Facts Roundup.
Atmosphere.
Okay, so now we're sitting down at the table. There's like a fancy metal Sizzler sign on the far wall, some birthday balloons.
For a birthday party.
For a birthday party. Yeah, it's not just like,
because.
yeah. Hey, you never know. They're just like, it'll probably be someone's birthday.
But to be fair, I don't know if there was a birthday over there. We didn't hear anything.
Do we want to go into it?
Let's just go into
okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, it's just right there.
Yeah, we have to give this week's This Is Way Too Little award, which we never give out. We rarely use that award, but sometimes something just so small happens that we gotta take note.
This is way too little.
There was a birthday song. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've given the This Is Way Too Little award to a birthday song before that was a little underwhelming. Yes, we did, and we probably did it prematurely because this took the cake, or maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was that unclear of a birthday that maybe there wasn't even cake.
There were over a dozen people at this table.
I have never seen so many people make so little noise.
Yes, while singing the birthday song.
It was so somber, and it was like, happy birthday to you. And then my favorite part was there was like two people going, like, you know, the little claps, happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. So they had pizzazz to them, but they had no volume to it. Was, what, 15 people?
Probably.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a funeral procession. It was just so grim and sad. And I was like, yeah, that's a Sizzler birthday.
That is.
Wasn't their birthday balloon, the big one, like black?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, the color scheme of birthdays where it's just like, yeah, this is just dark and not colorful.
Yeah. Lots of joy.
Yeah. It was definitely way too little. Yeah, it was just so unimpressive. Like, it was like the birthday equivalent of ASMR or like the Sizzler equivalent of like morning talk radio.
Sizzler ASMR.
Yeah, what would that be like?
I think you can do.
I think you can do better than that, VyVy.
Excuse me? Can I have more bread, please?
Ding! Orders up!
So there I was, stagnant, stuck in time, standing still, a year more senior. My 7th straight birthday inside a Sizzler. This wasn't supposed to transpire this way, spending the lion's share of my 30s struggling, searching for a severance from this sick and saddening cycle. Show me a Surf City squeeze or a slice of Sicily for once. 7 instances at Sizzler? A sad suburban supper sanctuary of substandard salads, soups, and steaks. A silver sea of sameness. Shameless, sibilant whispers surround me, the susurration of Sizzler's signature soundscape. The sautéing skillets and strident saucers serve as a stereophonic symphony of stagnation, suffocating my very spirit with their suppressing spell. My soul thirsts for something to supplant this cyclical situation, ensnared in this sort of unsatisfactory saloon. I seek emancipation from this cell to which I've been sentenced. The smallest consolation you can submit me? Sing that stale song of my birthday if you must. Softly. It seems significant to you, but then be still. Can a sister savor some silence? Silence, I said.
Hi, can I have the check?
Super. Next summer, I'll stay inside, sequestered, and celebrate in solitude. So sustenance isn't solely a signature at Sizzler. Perhaps baby back ribs at the bastion of below-average bites, brews, and burgers. Chili's.
You made all of those sounds by yourself.
Yeah, I did. I'm a pro.
Yeah, okay. Now, the actual seating part of the restaurant itself, I thought, looked like the restaurant attached to a college dorm cafeteria, like the seating area where it's just like, it felt like all of the, I mean, is furniture the word? The booths and the tables and stuff like that and the banisters, everything felt like it was gotten on resale from another restaurant that went out of business. Like none of this felt even remotely new. It felt like hand-me-down restaurant seating.
For you University of Michigan folks out there, it was the Mary Markley dorm cafeteria, straight up.
Totes.
Yeah, we get that too.
I'm the only human that gets that reference. But yes, U of M guys out there and girls and humans.
Someone out there is excited.
Yeah.
You did reference when we were there kind of the Olive Garden of it all, the fact that everyone looked related.
Yeah, everyone did. Families, dates, something like that.
This felt a little different from Olive Garden, though, because here it was like, oh, yeah, you do not take anyone here who you're trying to impress. This is the place where you go with people who are like, whatever, they see me in sweatpants all the time. Fuck it. Like,
yeah, you're
that's
just
a Sizzler.
there to eat,
Yeah.
not necessarily to have fun or converse with each other.
Yeah, you just wanted to literally get out of the house and you just end up at a Sizzler and you're like, whatever.
I remember I took a girl to a McDonald's date once.
I did a food court Chick-fil-A date once. It was a
Carl's
first
Jr.
date. I mean, I was in 7th grade, but like it was like a middle school date. Like,
I was in college at the time.
Oh. Yeah, I knew better by then.
I just didn't care. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is cheap.
It's the test.
Yeah.
If she's cool with McDonald's, then great.
Yeah.
There was wood everywhere.
A lot of wood.
Everything was wood. The booths were made of wood.
Well, I mean, with how lustful their advertising is,
Oh,
Sizzler,
yeah.
we've got wood. That's just their vibe. They're trying to really get you in a mood.
But they ruined the mood with the shitty drop ceilings and the dirty green carpet.
Yeah. Can we talk about the buffet area just visually? Like, we'll talk about the food element of it later, but
Yeah, it had this Gaddy Town sheen over it.
they just haven't mastered buffet lighting. No one has.
Yeah, it wasn't very appealing.
I feel like Chinese buffets tend to do the lighting pretty well. It's a little bit like the more orangey light instead
a warm
of
light on a buffet is better than this bright fluorescent light that shows all the impurities.
Turn them on and turn them off.
blow in the cartridge. I did have a favorite part of the buffet, though. There was a picture for key lime cheesecake right above the
What it was.
the hole.
Oh, no.
The whole full. What do you call those? The bowl? The container full of key lime cheesecake?
The cheesecake slot.
The cheesecake slot, of course. You know, I'm about to slot shame because
Oh.
the picture and the dessert did not match.
No.
This was catfishing. Just at its core, this was dessert catfishing. It did not look like its profile picture.
Also, when Garrett came back from the table, he was like, yeah, it's catfish pie. And I went, what? Because I thought it literally was catfish.
But the worst part of it is you had that reaction, but you didn't exactly immediately dismiss it as untrue. You're
You
like,
are
I guess
exactly
it's
right.
possible.
It could.
This is the type of place that might try such an abomination.
I guess Sizzler has catfish pie now.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, Garrett, you started to notice something that was happening kind of gradually.
Yeah. As people finished their meals, got up, left, the busser came, cleaned up the tables. No one was resat in our section.
Specifically, all the tables that we bordered. We were in almost like a grid-like shape, so it was probably 8 tables all in all.
And there were people around us when we started.
Yes.
And the other sections were still being seated.
Everything else was pretty full.
So, you know, I don't want to say it was something targeted about us, but it does bring up a question, Garrett. It does make me ask, what's going on over there?
What's going on over there? What's going on over there? Should I worry? Should I care? What is going on over there?
So, Garrett, what do you think was going on over there?
I have a theory. You know how sex eyes are their whole advertising shtick.
Their whole deal.
They're mandatory.
Yeah. Sizzler is all about the sex eyes.
All about it.
And you know one thing none of us did?
Sex eyes?
Sex eyes.
None of us gave sex eyes to anyone in the restaurant.
Or anything.
Or to each other.
Or to each other. I mean, this food does not put anyone in any sort of mood.
No.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes were focused on powering through the stuff that I was force feeding myself just to give the people at home who listen to our podcast a review of it.
Yeah, we did not fit with the quote unquote aesthetic of the restaurant. So they refused to sit anyone around us. They didn't want to bring down their restaurant by us non-sex eye humans.
Oh, very asexual eyes.
Yes.
Sizzler's just filled with a bunch of horn dogs, and we did not fit. Like total boner killers. That's why the urinal was so high.
Oh,
because
you
they
have to be
expected
erect.
you to be
So is Sizzler just some like secret sex club?
Ooh, maybe that's why there's so many paper towels in the bathrooms everywhere.
Oh.
I don't think a worse segment has been done on this show yet. Just this implication of just, you go to Sizzler, come for the food, literally.
Oh.
This is off the rails, but also I think it is in fact, what's going on over there? All right, well, we gotta rate this atmosphere. It was sad. It wasn't the saddest place I've ever been, but it's still pretty sad. I'm gonna go 1 thumb down, kind of a right in the middle 1 thumb down. I wasn't mad while I was there, so I can't be like, I hated it, but I didn't like it.
And that bathroom really also brought the whole energy down.
Yeah, that was a haunted place.
It felt different from the rest of the restaurant.
VyVy, if you have to hold your thumbs up or down in any specific direction, how you feeling about the atmosphere?
I'm also giving it 1 thumb down.
Yeah.
I wanted to give it more, but
It didn't earn it.
it didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah. Garrett?
Everything looks worn and outdated, from the scuffs and scratches everywhere on the booths to the falling apart drop ceiling and yellow beige walls. I have no nostalgic attachment to this place, and it feels like I've been transported to the not too distant past when the first question at a restaurant was smoking or non-smoking.
This did feel like a place where, like, if we were asked that when we walked in, I'd be like, I wouldn't even think twice.
This was the time when you still needed an AOL CD and a phone line to get on the internet. So, like, Sizzler, stay in the 90s. I don't want you here in the present time. 1 thumb down.
All right, moving on.
Service.
The service situation here was kind of interesting because it was that restaurant within a restaurant thing where their process is different. You go in, you order at a counter, then you hit the buffet, then you go to your table and they take your receipt from you. And that's how they know what you ordered.
And nowhere do they explain this process.
No, they just kind of give you a receipt and send you to your table. Like if you put that receipt in your pocket, like what, I mean, I assume the server will ask you.
Yeah, they didn't give you like the number on a stick that you can just make it very clear that that's where you're...
That would have been a really easy solution to this.
They just kind of send you on your way and they're just like, figure it out. It was that kind of feel. We did have a server that came by our table. She took our receipt. You and I hit the salad bar, Garrett. We went up, came back with our food, and then you two got your meals delivered.
Yes.
I did not.
And we waited.
And we waited.
We weren't going to ask, just wanted to see how long this was going to take.
I did, because she never said your food is on its way, but, you know, you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt and you assume.
It was so much shrimp.
Yeah, it wasn't shrimp or shrimp.
It was shrimp. Shrimp. Let's do it again. Shrimp. Let's just keep doing this. This is fun for me, guys. Shrimp. Yeah, that's what I ordered, which I'll get into reviewing that later, but that was literally the name of my dish.
Like, how can you forget that order? Come on.
It says it to you 3 times. Yeah. It didn't bother me too much because of the salad bar. I was able to go get like the hot appetizers and whatever else I wanted. So I was able to kind of keep myself full, or eating at least, in the meantime. Not that any of it was good. But, I eventually was like, she stopped and was like, is there anything else you guys need? I was like, yeah, I ordered this. She turned it around quick. She came, it's like it was just there and she just didn't know.
Waiting.
Yeah, it's almost as if it had been waiting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, also, she brought you the baked potato without the butter you asked
That's
for.
right.
Oh.
I had to piecemeal my potato together because I said no sour cream. It does come with butter and chives, which I wanted both of those things.
And all you got at first was sour cream.
I
On
got
the
a
side, on the side.
I got a side of sour cream and a plain baked potato. I guess I hadn't glanced inside. I assumed that it was coated in butter. So I was just like, oh, can I get the chives? And she was like, yeah, sure. She brings me the chives. They come out. I put them in, realize there's no butter. Hey, can I get butter? Yeah. Okay, fine. So now she forgot the plate initially. Then I had to ask to get the plate. Then it comes out wrong. Then I have to ask for chives. Then I have to ask for butter. So it's 5 interactions to get the full assembly of my potato. And
that was just your side.
That was just the side that came with my shrimp. And it was kind of entertaining. It felt like she was smuggling it to me in Oh, can I tell a story?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right. So if I have to give a thumb rating to service. So I worked on a movie probably in 28. You've done so much more than me, okay? I was a PA. I was a production assistant.
Okay.
The lowest rung of the ladder on a movie. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago now. And it was an independent production being shot out of this guy's condo, the director and writer's condo, that he didn't have permission to film in from the housing association.
Oh, no.
And he was so paranoid about it that he requested that every single thing brought in for the movie was smuggled in piecemeal like that. Literally.
In your butt.
In your butt. It was so uncomfortable. He literally took a week to get all of the camera and lighting equipment into his apartment. He had people taking one piece at a time. Now, I'm the PA. I have to do runs for bagels and coffee and stuff like that. And so I go to a grocery store, pick up a couple travelers of coffee. I get 24 bagels or whatever. And he yells at me when I get into his home with them because he was like, they're going to think that this is for 24 people. I was like, what do you want me to do, man? Do you want me to go to my car one bagel at a time and bring that? What's the answer here? And he flipped out on me for having the travelers of coffee. He was like, why are they in those big containers? That's clearly for big groups. I was like, that's how liquid works, dude.
Maybe he just really likes coffee.
Yeah. I don't know what did he want me to have 24 cups of coffee? Also, by the way, everyone knew. The front desk knew. They were kind of like, hey, so what's going on in there? And the valet were like, hey, so how about that movie? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, okay, man. It was just so dumb.
He wanted you to mama bird the entire crew.
Yeah, that's what he wanted me to do. It reminded me of that when she's bringing out my baked potato piece at a time. The service, other than that, I mean,
she was nice.
She was nice. Tables weren't exactly busts frequently, I guess. There were definitely
the food at the table next to us kind of remained there
for
long
a while
after they had left.
Clearly,
we didn't give the busters sex eyes.
We didn't give anyone sex eyes.
Took.
Yeah. The bathrooms obviously had not been tended to, which I almost never associate with service, but at this point with how it was, I kind of have to.
The bathrooms got too many sex eyes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go one thumb down on service. She was nice. She was very quick when I would make a request. The only flaw really of hers was just not explaining the process, but not explaining that process was kind of a thing where I'm like, I'm confused. The potatoes coming out piece at a time. The bathroom's messy. Tables are unbussed. So just the overall of the service, one thumb down.
I'm going to give this one thumb down just because the method of ordering and the style of the restaurant already limits this.
Yeah.
Toss in Michael's forgotten meal. And the fact that they forgot
Shrimp.
So one thumb down.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's all been said before. One thumb down as well.
All right, well, that's it for service.
Food. Yum.
All right, well, we've given some downward-facing thumbs already, but prepare for more as we go into the food for Sizzler.
I mean, hold on. Not all of us felt that way. I didn't think it was that bad.
Really?
And that's the whole point, right? That it's not supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to be okay. And
It was
I
not
had an
amazing.
okay experience.
Oh, you mean the point of our podcast?
Yeah, well, the podcast and my experience that I had
At
eating
Sizzler?
at Sizzler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you were saying thumbs
I'm
down.
looking for mediocrity. I did not find mediocrity
Okay.
here.
I did not either.
Yeah. All right.
This did not measure up to medium. Your steak kind of did, though, but we'll
It
start
went
with other things.
past that.
Before we really get into talking about the food, I was punished this week because last time for medieval times, that place scored a little too low and I had to draw from the You Must Bowl. I had to draw a punishment and enact it at this restaurant, and my punishment was that I had to eat my entire meal using only spoons, which I did.
We imagined this was going to be extremely difficult.
And yet, it wasn't.
I am a dexterous man.
You cheated with some added help.
I don't know if I cheated. I
You got a loophole.
outsmarted the system.
You brought a performance-enhancing spoon.
Ooh.
And now, a word from our totally not made up sponsor.
Oh, hi there, it's your favorite sponsor, Jubb, and I am back! Did you lose a bet with your friends and you had to enact some sort of punishment at some place at some specified time, and you looked for a loophole to get around it? Shame on you, but good for me! I'm gonna help you save face! If you welch on a bet like I did that one time in 8th grade at a sleepover at Aaron Brzezinski's parents' lake house where we were playing high-stakes mahjong and the loser had to go to school the next Tuesday because it was a 3-day weekend, otherwise it would have been Monday, dressed head to toe in a Darkwing Duck costume, including a detachable polyvinyl chloride beak and a purple cape, which I didn't want to do because PVC makes me break out in hives, and it painted me as this guy who always bails on things, which is kind of true given how many business ventures I've pursued without truly giving the previous one enough time to take off. And it ended my friendship with Aaron Brzezinski. So if you relate to that, we're peas in a pod. I'll help you back out of a thing that you don't want to do, or at least find a loophole. I've always been looking for ways to keep my word, even if on a technicality. So call me, not on a phone. Just go track down Aaron Brzezinski, tell him I'm sorry, and I'll do it for you for free. Wow, what value? Okay, bye.
So I got a grapefruit spoon with the serrated edges
From where?
from Sur la Table.
Table.
Why do y'all sound like Borat with that?
It's French.
That's how you have to say it. I don't make the
Sur la
rules.
table.
I just live in a society.
Everything sounds like
Sur la
Borat.
table is the word that you say that immediately gets your eyes to relax into sex eye position. That's just
Ooh.
sur la table. And then you're just, oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Hit me with that passion. Yeah. So I brought a grapefruit spoon expecting to get steak. I ended up not getting steak. We all know what I got.
Shrimp. Shrimp.
But yeah, so I had a little bit of your steak and was kind of using it to cut. I didn't have too many things I needed to cut.
That cut that steak very well.
Yeah, it was quite well serrated. I think it actually cut my steak better than my own knife.
That's right.
Cut my steak.
You had a knife that, I mean, again, it felt like a college dorm cafeteria
your knife was-
silverware
yeah.
as well.
It was back from the 80s.
Yeah, it had not been sharpened since.
No. So this was an annoying challenge, if nothing else. You made me drink my water with the spoon. Now,
Part of your meal.
My teeth, it is. My teeth are very sensitive to ice, and I kept scooping ice and putting them in, and then I'm like, my teeth are freezing, and
He's
it
being
hurts.
a fussy boy.
Hey,
Yeah.
you don't evoke. How dare you?
I'm a fan of the podcast, and I know the references.
Michael is a fussy little boy. Michael is a fussy little boy, baby. Michael is a fussy little boy. Michael is a fussy little boy.
Yeah, I think you're being a fussy little boy.
Sustained. Yeah, so I spooned the water into my mouth and got over it pretty quickly because of the ice. I was just like, I'm just not going to drink a lot this meal. The first thing we did was hit the salad bar. You didn't get salad though, right?
No, I took a look. I was going to get some soup. There were 3 containers of soup, chicken noodle, mystery white opaque chunky,
Oh.
and mystery red chunky with one giant onion in it.
I think it was clam chowder and tomato soup.
Okay, I genuinely could not tell. They were not labeled. They just looked gross.
They were
so I
just
didn't want to risk it.
vats. Just,
Yeah.
hey, here's a vat. Test your luck.
Did they have like a film over them, like as if they'd been sitting for a while?
I didn't touch it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look at those. I ended up getting some of the chicken noodle soup.
How was it? It looked
Bad.
okay.
No, it
Oh.
was bad soup.
Did the
Okay.
oyster crackers help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were they good oyster crackers?
Yeah, but they're like prepackaged. Like
It's like the standard.
Sizzler didn't make them. They just ordered them and put them in a box.
So they Cinnabon
They
stolen glory.
Cinnabon oyster crackers. Yeah. So the chicken noodle soup, my note just says 3 out of 10. Blech. The noodle texture was disappointing. It felt like a bad version of like canned Campbell's soup, I guess, with just really thick noodles. The chicken wasn't very plentiful. The taste was just not good. So 3 out of 10. The noodle texture was probably the main thing.
It was also the hot bar that was right next to this. And
yes.
it was about a quarter of the size. It was a nacho bar, spaghetti bar.
Taco meat.
Yeah.
Like a taco meat rectangle filled with basically Taco Bell beef.
No, it wasn't even that good. Okay, this was pasty mush meat. To me, it
Oh.
looked like more like refried beans than meat. When I tried the meat, it was weirdly smoky. Why is my
Oh,
taco
no.
meat weirdly smoky?
Yeah.
Because of the sizzle.
My
Yes.
immediate thought when I was eating this taco, because I made a taco, I put a little bit of green onions in it,
Dude, that was nice. They had green onions out there. That was cool.
and I couldn't find the salsa. I know you found it. I literally just
It was
didn't see it.
right next to it.
But as soon as I put this taco together, I had this thought that I'm going to pay for this later. This looks like a food poisoning taco. It just looked like something that isn't going to work out for me. I've been okay, but again, not even a full 24 hours have passed. Maybe it needs time to marinate in my system. But yeah,
What would you give your taco?
taste-wise, didn't hate it. 5 out of 10.
3 out of 10 for that taco for me.
Balancing it on a spoon was not easy.
And yet you made it work.
Yeah.
You know, I accounted for where the new center of gravity would be after each bite. So I was always adjusting my spoon to be in the center post-bite. So I managed to keep it on my spoon the whole time. Y'all seemed rather impressed, and I was very proud of that.
The nacho chips there, they were cold, hard, and flavorless. There's a 2 out of 10 nacho chip.
Mm-hmm.
And you got, what was this? The sweet Thai chili chicken?
Yeah.
Oh.
My note just says no. 2 out of 10. This was just bad. It was a texture nightmare. It was so squishy, but like it seemed like it wanted to have like a fried chicken crunch to it a little bit, and it did not. It was just too soaked in the sweet Thai chili oil.
Yeah, it looked really sad.
You tried it, right?
Yeah, it wasn't great,
Yeah.
but it just looked bad to begin with.
It looked pathetic. Yeah.
I zoomed in. My piece looked like it had a blackhead on it.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
gross.
it's gross.
Yeah, 2 out of 10. Disgusting chicken.
It was bad. I also, from the taco bar, got spaghetti.
You always get spaghetti from the worst places possible.
I like spaghetti.
Buffet spaghetti is just a travesty.
Buffet spaghetti is still legally spaghetti, and that's enough for me to want spaghetti. I don't know. My note just says unremarkably simple. It was just a very simple tomato sauce, a very simple meatball, and very simple noodles. I'm still going 4 out of 10, the very bottom end of average. I didn't hate it. Wasn't good.
And you ate it with a spoon.
And I ate it with a spoon, which that was probably the most difficult thing to
Yeah, on your
spoon
plate.
down. Yeah. Also from that hot appetizers section of the buffet, I got a potato wedge, just like a big buffet fry chunk. 4.5 out of 10. It was a potato chunk. That's about it.
Hard to mess up potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say they messed it up. They did nothing with it that inspired anything in me, but they didn't mess it up. And then I got a potentially chicken wing potential nugget. I didn't know until I took a bite. I guessed wrong.
Yeah, it had bones.
I thought it was a nugget, so I just took a big bite out of the top of it, and I was like, oh, that's like when you order wings and you get the little drumstick. Oops.
Yep.
So I just bit into bone and then quickly like pivoted, which by the way, also with a spoon,
Difficult.
not easy. Had this been just like a chicken nugget, easy with a spoon. With bones, I take back the spaghetti. This was the hardest thing to effectively eat with spoons.
they brought us the table bread finally. Now, VyVy, you liked it.
Yeah, so I admittedly don't like cheese like you two, but because Sizzler was such a big part of my childhood growing up, there was one right down the street from where I lived. I do have some nostalgia with the
For
cheese
this bread.
bread.
Yeah.
And actually, I feel like they put less cheese on it now too. I remember back in the day, it used to be like this crust of cheese. And this time it was more of like a light spread of cheese. So Garrett, you had a bite of it.
It wasn't overly cheesy.
Yeah. It was just kind of like a nice saltiness added to some bread. And so it was fine.
But
Yeah.
you could tell it was cheese.
Yeah.
I found a recipe for it. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of cheese and butter that goes on it.
Oh, it's probably the butter that really makes it so good then at the end of the day. But yeah, I would say it was pretty tasty. I only asked for one slice because I knew no one else at the table liked
And then
cheese.
they brought 3.
And then she brought one
Yeah.
slice, I think, for each of us. But I ate the rest of it. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It was decent.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And Garrett didn't hate it.
I tried it. It's a 4 out of 10. It wasn't overly cheesy. And what I specifically liked about it, it had that orange-yellow grease glow.
You do love your orange grease.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did love that this bread came on a piece of paper that they used for marketing purposes, and it had like a bunch of little quotes on it, but there was one in particular.
Well, they were supposed to be positive.
They were intended to be positive, but I don't think they thought through the double meaning of one of theirs.
No.
It says, "What did I do to deserve all this?"
And then it attributes the quote to your appetite. And it's like, you're right. What did I do to deserve all this? I'm better than this. I've lived a good life. I've been nice. Why, karma? Why?
Yeah, they definitely didn't put this through like a test group.
Not at all.
Yeah. Now, even though none of us got it because we're not cheese people, Sizzler has maybe the single worst menu item I've encountered anywhere. They've got the Malibu chicken, which is like a fried chicken cutlet with like lunch meat ham on top, covered in lunch meat Swiss cheese. Lunch meat.
Meat cheese.
Meat cheese.
Oh.
Cheese.
Just
it's
a
made
slice.
of meat.
It looks so disgusting. It looks like Sizzler is doing a professional Lunchable. I don't know what to make of it. It looks so gross from pictures.
Well, yeah, we looked up the photo on Yelp and it was just gross.
Yeah. And what's worse is like there are Yelp reviews of people who order it and love it and post pictures of it, and the pictures do it no favors.
Maybe the flavors come together if you don't look at it.
I guess people used to eat like tuna jello.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, like-
Wait, what?
Yeah, like tuna casserole jello, meat jello, like from the time period of when Sizzler was created. So like the 50s and stuff, there was just bullshit.
Oh,
Americans used to eat the weirdest crap.
But this is just trash.
Yeah.
Just conceptually, it looks insulting.
It just needs to
It
be
makes me
slathered in
cringe.
mayo.
Stop. It makes me cringe
to make it better
think
or
about.
worse?
To make it like Midwesty.
Oh.
Or ranch. Ooh, cover it in bacon crumbles and ranch.
We're moving on to the next thing. Just stop.
American cheese instead of Swiss. What about nacho cheese?
Cut him off.
Mayo and nacho cheese on top of this.
I'm muting your
Chicken
mic.
Cutlet.
Oh, no. I saw him do it.
Okay, so now entrees. We know what I ordered, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the shrimp.
Shrimp.
I literally got it for the name. I saw the name on the menu and I was like, that can't be right. It was right. And I had to order it.
Well, actually, even based on the proportion of shrimp you got, it was more like shrimp.
Yeah, it was way more one of the types of the shrimp. So the shrimp comes with mini crispy shrimp, jumbo crispy shrimp, and shrimp skewer. Side not included. So literally, this is in a section of the menu where it says one side included. And then this one specifically is like, you don't get a side with this. It did come on a rice pilaf.
Yeah,
so I think
they
that's
forced the rice pilaf
Yeah.
onto you.
It was kind of hidden, too.
It was. And it wasn't spectacular
It was
in
a
any way.
smattering of rice.
It was like a 4 out of 10. It did nothing really for the dish, the rice. The mini shrimp and the jumbo shrimp were both crispy shrimp, and they tasted identical.
Yeah.
Literally, the only difference between them was their size.
Yes.
They were fine. Then the grilled shrimp skewer, also fine. 5 out of 10. Came with a cocktail sauce, which I'm not the biggest cocktail sauce guy. I tried it. I was like, okay, that's an interesting flavor. Don't hate it. Don't love it.
It was hard to dip those with your spoons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I put one in and it decided to take a swim. And I was like, well, and the grapefruit spoon did so much good work with this shrimp because they all still had the tails attached. So if I'm eating this finger food, I'm holding onto the tail and biting so that I don't eat tail. I can't do that when I'm destined to only spoons. So
sounds like a dating app.
It sounds like more than a dating app.
I know. Just kidding. OnlyFans is not a dating app.
Yeah.
Only spoons.
A lot of users of OnlyFans probably wish it was a dating app. Yeah. So having this grapefruit spoon helped so much, being able to like slice off all those little tails and stuff. So I don't care if it's cheating, Garrett. There's not going to be any consequence for cheating, so whatever.
Just you see.
Oh, dear.
Anyways, overall, shrimp, 5 out of 10. You guys didn't say it with me.
Well, you said it so fast.
You should have known. Overall, the shrimp was a 5 out of 10. Good job. 5 out of 10 dish.
I ended up going for the taste of the tropics because we were
so exotic.
Yeah,
I know.
We had to go at
we saw the
Sizzler.
sign. We thought might as well. So I got the steak and honey garlic shrimp. Admittedly, the steak, it was like a tri-tip, was really chewy, really salty. My knife wouldn't cut through it. Your spoon cut through it quite
grapefruit
well.
spoon did great.
Yeah, so I would say that was around a 4 for me.
You should have hit up sur la table.
I should have.
Yeah.
Honey garlic shrimp, which we all shared
Yeah.
as well. I think the flavor was decent. The breading around it was really, really thick. We did a cross section of it, and the proportion of the
breading to shrimp meat
was egregious.
Yeah.
But it was tasty.
Sure.
And the sauce, I thought, complemented it pretty well.
Did you do any bites that were like bite of steak with the shrimp, like 2 in 1?
I didn't.
Like the combo that, I don't know if it's how they're advertising it, but the fact that they're pairing them.
I didn't even think
Maybe
to do
they
that.
would, because like the steak and the shrimp give each other the sex eyes. They get together on the spoon for you.
Oh, and I kept them apart.
How you denied
you
them
deny
their
the
destiny?
love
Oh,
of
man.
the steak and the shrimp.
So much regret.
Let's not assume it's love. It is lust when you're in a Sizzler.
Yeah. We never say anything about love here.
Yeah. They're not looking for anything long term.
Yeah, it's just a lot of settling.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. In a nutshell, that is Sizzler right there.
Settling.
So I would say I thought the shrimp was decent. I gave it a 6, actually. I did finish it all. I brought it home and then ended up devouring it within a few
Really?
hours.
Oh,
so,
all right. Okay.
yeah. So 6 for the shrimp.
I had a bite of it. Yeah, I'd probably be around there, maybe a 5.5.
Okay.
I wasn't hating on it.
I tried it. I hated it.
Really?
Yes. So Garrett had this expression every time he ate something that didn't really change, and it was just disappointment.
Garrett is the most expressive eater you will ever see. He either enters Flavorvana, where he literally gets lost in something, and you see his eyes kind of like float. He gets a lazy eye for a second. It's just like goes in a different direction. Drool starts coming out. He sinks into his chair and he moans.
And I didn't see that yesterday.
there's
at
We
nothing
all.
went
close.
to Sizzler. You're
Yeah.
not seeing Flavorvana at Sizzler.
You just saw rage.
and then that's
I saw rage. I just saw sadness.
yeah. There's Flavorvana and there's
Acceptance that this is life. This is our life, people.
you had
Sizzler.
existential dread from the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. 3 out of 10 for those shrimp.
Okay.
The breading seemed like literal cardboard.
I think the sauce was preventing me from maybe experiencing it the way you did. The one I got was very coated in sauce. Not quite as much as the Thai chili, but yeah. I also tasted your steak. My note was not upset about it, but not good. 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, you rated it better than I did.
Yeah, what'd you give it?
A 4.
Okay.
I gave the steak a 4, the shrimp 6, a baked potato on the side,
Yeah.
which was, you can't really mess up a baked potato.
We've
so
seen it happen.
okay, well then this was a 7 in my book
Yeah.
because it was a good baked potato and there was the green onion and stuff.
I don't think I rated my baked potato, or did I?
Rate it now.
5 out of 10 for my baked potato.
And then I also got a drink. It was a strawberry lemonade, and the lemonade was okay. It was pretty mediocre, but they had these strawberry chunks on the bottom that once you got to those were delicious.
Yeah.
They were super sweet and very tasty. I was actually really excited then to get to that point where I was like, oh yeah, it's just strawberry
It's
chunks
like a
now.
treat at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I give the drink a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that drink raved about on Yelp. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, because the woman at the register, I'd asked her what was popular, and she was like, oh yeah, the strawberry lemonade's pretty good.
Flying off the shelves.
Yeah, so I got it, and when I first sipped it, was not very impressed. But when I got to the strawberry, excellent.
I got a ribeye. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I have never gotten a good steak on this podcast. So I ordered this thing medium rare, and it arrived more medium well done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk too much about this. It just makes me mad. All this was just seasoned sandal leather.
Oh, and it looked like it too.
2 out of 10. Hard, tough, salty leather.
You gave me a pretty good chunk, and you specifically chose the chunk. It came pre-cut, and you gave me the stuff that wasn't.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to watch me struggle with the grapefruit spoon. And my note was, does this have skin on it?
Oh.
Like, steak shouldn't have skin, but it seemed like it. To me, it wasn't. The part of the cut that I got wasn't as bad as I expected. It's still a 4.5 out of 10, but it's not in the range where I'm like damning it to hell or anything like that. So
you should have tried the middle.
I feel like this whole podcast is us trying the middle.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point?
It literally is. It's to find the perfect middle. Yeah.
Our body composition is just deteriorating over the run of this, though.
For certain.
I got fries, too. They started off crisp and firm on the outside and soft and pillowy on the inside. They were great. But the longer I ate them, the heavier and heavier the grease got. This was just like our fries at Cheddar's. And by the time I was about 3/4 of the way through with the fries, I just couldn't eat anymore. All I tasted was grease.
Yeah.
So 5 out of 10.
So now, dessert. We saw the catfish cheesecake. Avoided that. I got 2 things. They had a little soft serve machine where you could get ice cream, and it had sprinkles, nuts, Oreo bits, chocolate, caramel sauce. No whipped cream, but other than that, and like a cherry on top, it had the stuff you would want, the works. No fruit chunks or anything like that, although I guess you could have gone over to the salad bar and gotten a little crazy. Put cantaloupe in your soft serve.
Ooh, slow down.
So I got that, made it to a 6 out of 10. This is the first part of my meal that got to a 6.
Wow.
I put caramel sauce, chocolate sauce, nuts, Oreo crumbles, and sprinkles, and I thought it was decent.
Yeah, and you pilfered me some. I did request some soft serve on the side.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, the vanilla flavor was very bland.
Yeah, I couldn't taste the vanilla flavor. It was like half of the flavor that McDonald's has.
It was all topping. Like, the topping is what gave you your flavor. Yeah.
Yes. But I did enjoy it, so I gave that a 6 out of 10. The only thing I was sad about was, like, back in the day at Sizzler, like, you would actually put it in, like, a nice kind of, it looked like glass, but it was, like, plastic, so that you wouldn't, break it easily. But it was, like, these little fancy bowls that you put your dessert in and enjoy and feel like a fancy person. And now they give you these paper cups and plastic spoons.
Yeah,
that's
fitting.
They also had that's appropriate.
They had cones as an option as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure the cones tasted the same as like the cardboard paper cups.
They didn't look like that fresh. They definitely looked like they came in like a sleeved box of like 100 or something like that.
Oh, but they didn't even have the benefit of staying in the sleeve. They were just out in the open air all day.
Right. Yeah, they are out in the open for sure.
So yeah, no, this flavorless ice cream, 3 out of 10.
Did you put any topping on it?
I put no topping on it. I wanted to taste the ice cream. I wanted to get the true ice cream experience, which was non-existent.
When I go to Sizzler, I'm not trying to taste the true experience of anything. I'm taking as many cheats as possible. I'm bringing a grapefruit spoon. And then the last thing I ordered a chocolate cake. They had pictures of chocolate cake and carrot cake on their website when I looked in advance. That's where I learned about the shrimp. And I was like, okay, I have to order that. Great. They have a chocolate cake. I'll get that. Fantastic. This was not fantastic. It was just like a little birthday party in a plastic container cake covered with like multicolored, the like spherical sprinkles. I like the cylindrical sprinkles. I don't like the spherical ones. Those are too like you bite down on them and they like pop and I don't know, they get stuck in your molars and whatnot. It wasn't medieval times bad, but it did have the texture of the sole of a shoe. So
2 out of 10 for this cake?
Definitely.
Oh,
2
yeah,
out of
that's
10
right.
on that.
Yeah.
It was dry.
Yeah.
It was kind of reflective of that birthday party that was next to us. Just
Yeah.
sad.
Just quietly sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 more things. The catfish cheesecake.
The key lime cheesecake, yeah.
That was a 2 out of 10. All it tasted like was mildly citrus flavored whipped cream. That's it.
Okay.
And then the best thing of all.
Oh,
Of the
when
whole
your
meal?
expression did change.
Yes, finally, my first and only good expression of the night. The banana pudding.
Yeah.
Mm.
Banana pudding number 4 now on the
Yes.
history of this
Ooh.
podcast.
This was a 7 out of 10 banana
Really?
pudding. Yes. Like, this was the
It
saving
looked
grace
gross.
of
High
this.
praise. It didn't look good.
No, it looked terrible. It was juicy. It was sweet enough. Taste was sublime. But if it had Nilla wafers, whipped cream, and was presented in some form of cohesive manner, that's a 9 or 10 for me.
Yeah.
But as it is, even with its disgust, frankly, it looked like semen.
The last thing I want to touch on with food is the to-go container definitely resembled a coffin. It's just like
Yeah.
dark black, long and narrow,
Rectangular.
opens at like hinges at the top.
It
And
was a very interestingly shaped box.
I was just like, no, this is on brand. They know what they're sending you home in. Easy 2 thumbs down for the food on this. Sizzler's food is trash.
Oh, I gave it 1 thumb up.
You gave it a thumb up?
Because when I added all my numbers together, it got to a 6. Or I averaged all my numbers together.
Oh my gosh.
I am very kind to them, I think.
Nostalgia's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
2 thumbs down. No.
Oh,
Ew.
wow.
Ew.
Wow.
Easy.
Gross.
We're fighting you on this.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for food. We need to give this thing a score, but before we do, we need to go to Yelp and see what other people are saying about this Sizzler location in this week's Yelp from Strangers.
We need a little yelp, a little yelp from strangers. A 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4 or 5. So get a little yelp, a little yelp from strangers. A little yelp. Give us those complaints while you literally whine and die. Yelp!
Okay, this is Yelp from Strangers, our segment where we go to Yelp and read out our favorite 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-star Yelp reviews of the very restaurant that we went to. Let's start it off on a positive note, VyVy. You're the Sizzler stan here, so why don't you give us a 5-star review?
5-star review.
Well, Rich M, 7 months ago, said, "We loved our steak and ordered a bottle of wine, White Zinfandel.
Fancy.
Very. We haven't been in a while here, and date night with the wife." That's not a complete sentence. "She doesn't need all the frills of a high-end restaurant." Oh, no. Maybe she does, Rich. Maybe she does.
This guy's just like, oh yeah, my wife's cool. She's cool with a McDonald's date.
Yeah.
We did that last week, date night. Oh, this was their date night. Ha ha ha. We love the one surviving Sizzler.
All caps.
All caps. Cheers.
We love the one surviving Sizzler.
And then he attached a picture of the wine
Of
they drank.
empty glasses of wine.
Yeah, so it looks like they had a lot of wine to get through this meal. And yeah, he gave it 5 stars.
Oh my God. This is Sutter Home White Zinfandel. What kind of a monster are you that you'll even consume that garbage?
Garrett's a fussy little boy. Garrett's a fussy little boy. Baby, Garrett's a fussy little boy. Garrett's a fussy little boy.
Like, hey, like, don't get me wrong. I played Slap the Bag just like everyone else did in college, and I drank some utter bullshit wine. But, bro, you're an adult. You're married.
Is he? Maybe he's like 18. Well, I
Maybe
guess
he's
it's
a
older.
child bride?
Child groom?
Child groom, yeah. But you're married. Take your wife to someplace nice and, like, don't get her wine that also comes in a box.
Yeah.
Grow up, dude.
1-star review.
I want to bring us to a negative place
Right after that.
to balance out these delusional people that think Sizzler is a 5-star restaurant. AH 3 months ago This is their only Yelp review.
Oh, God.
And someone marches helpful.
Yeah.
Not good. Went to the Van Nuys Sizzler along with the members of my CA State retirement group on Thursday. That checks out.
Yeah.
Everybody ordered from the senior menu. I was so disappointed, and boy, did the steak suck. Tough as shoe leather.
Yeah.
Comparisons we have made.
It,
I kid you not. I was in a rush after the meeting, so I got mine to go and really did know how bad it was until later. In fact, I did not know Sizzler was even open anymore.
Oh, no.
Quickly, I know why they are closing most Sizzlers down. As far as atmosphere, outdated decor, and it was not exactly dirty, but it was light years from being clean.
Truth.
Overall, poor choice by our president on a meeting site. 1 star. I feel all of that in my bones.
Yeah.
You could be friends with AH.
Oh, I would hang out and play Pinochle with AH.
Oh.
You can go download our full Yelp from Strangers segment at our Patreon. The link for that is in the description of this episode, or you can go to patreon.com/finediningpodcast. And we're now offering a 1-week free trial, so what do you have to lose? Go check it out. People have wild opinions, and we get to read oh so many of them. Thanks.
Final rating.
We gotta score it. We gotta put Sizzler on the tchotchke of mediocrity, forever enshrining it with a score. Garrett, what do you got?
We have worn down wood and old dirty green carpet everywhere. The server forgot Michael's food, and it's half-assed casual anyway.
I'm sorry, what was my food again?
Shrimp! Shrimp! Shrimp!
I wish they forgot my food.
Oh.
I probably would have walked out having a better experience having eaten nothing. This was on the garbage level food of Gaddy Town in medieval times, only there's no arcade and there's no entertainment. Who really wants to sit and stew in this food abomination that's been decaying since the late 80s? Just stop already, Sizzler. 2.76.
Woof.
Wow.
That is low. I guess we got to balance it out a little bit. VyVy?
Yeah, you're going to be the bright light for Sizzler.
You've got the nostalgia bump, I'm sure.
I will admit that, yes, nostalgia probably does play a factor in why I like Sizzler so much, but I thought the food wasn't too bad. The atmosphere.
What a ringing endorsement.
I didn't get sick.
That's the bar.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was whatever. The service, not terrible. I had great company. So
Ooh.
At the end of the day, 4.67.
4.67. All right.
Okay, it's still less than 5.
Still under mediocre.
Yes.
I'm kind of between you two, or at least pretty close to it. I thought this was... It was insulting, but in a way that wasn't personal. So it had a lot of room to go further down. It just felt like the place you go when you lose a bet. That's what Sizzler is to me, and it's what Sizzler delivered. I hear Sizzler as a punchline in comedian sets and sitcoms pretty regularly, like, oh, you know, so-and-so down on Sizzler, and like, ha 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 ha. I'm not writing the joke right now, but I hear it as a punchline occasionally, or a detail, as like this default shitty place. And you know what? Yeah. Just yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't get laid in the bathroom as advertised. So that sucks.
I'm glad you didn't get laid in the bathroom.
3.33. So when we average all of our scores together, Sizzler, you go up on the tchotchke of mediocrity at 3.59. Just a hair above Buffalo Wild Wings. This is our 4th lowest rating. We have Gaddy Town, Medieval Times, Buffalo Wild Wings, which was just such a whirlwind of circumstance.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure we do B-dubs again. It goes up.
It's gotta.
It'll regress to the mean. Come on, it has to.
Yeah. But Sizzler, I don't think you're doing better on subsequent visits. I really don't. So what this means, Sizzler did not score between 4 and 6, so that means I gotta go to the bowl. I gotta go to the You Must Bowl and get a punishment for our next restaurant pick. What?
Nope. According to fine dining bylaws, Section 5, Paragraph 3, Sentence 5. When one cheats
You're not pulling
in
the bylaws
performance-
on me.
Yes, I am. When one cheats in the performance of a You Must Bowl punishment, the aggrieved party gets to choose the next punishment.
Uh-oh.
So I don't draw from the bowl,
No.
and you made up these bylaws.
I mean, that's how you create
Yeah,
bylaws.
you make them up.
Okay. Whose side are you on?
His! I want to see this!
Screw you.
Okay, so
All right, what do I have to do?
for the next restaurant, you must wear a suit made out of the material of my choosing.
Oh.
That sounds literally impossible and impractical to put together in time.
That's your problem.
My God.
So do you want to know what this is going to be?
I do.
Don't make it baloney.
I promise it's not edible. You're going to have to wear a suit made entirely of Pokemon cards.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Where am I going to get that? You're just going to say, not my problem.
Yeah, again, your problem.
Gotta catch them all.
Yes.
All right.
I look at it this way. Remember when like duct tape prom dresses and suits and all that stuff was cool?
Yeah.
For a hot minute?
Were they cool for a hot minute? Okay.
It was, I don't know, it was a news story.
When they were around for a hot minute?
Yeah, this is what you have to do. Just you make your own suit. It's just out of things that aren't sticky. So I don't know how you're going to stick them together.
I'll figure something out. I will wear a suit of Pokemon cards at our next restaurant, which we don't know what it is, but because we didn't find the perfect 5.00 out of 10, we need to determine what it's going to be. We need to play a little game. We need to play
The Headline Game.
Shrimp.
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 The rules of the headline game are as follows. Michael will present 3 headlines to Garrett that include this week's restaurant. They can be made up or they can be actual headlines. If Garrett can correctly guess if at least 2 out of 3 are real or fake, he will get to select next week's restaurant. However, if Michael stumps him, he'll select again. Are you ready to play, fellas?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. First headline. Uproar over meat quality decline causes Sizzler sales figures to plummet.
That sounds real.
Yeah.
I believe it. True.
True. That totally happened.
All right. Claim your 1-cent steak at Sizzler.
I'll go true. I believe it. It's maybe worth that.
Yeah. I think maybe it was part of a deal of some sort. True.
Sizzler closed to cockroach infestation, public health says.
True. I have to go true on that because that's such a me headline.
I just feel like it's real. That's all.
Everything's true.
Yeah.
Tie break us.
Uh-oh.
Oh, unless we both just lost.
Oh, yeah. Did we
that's
lose
possible.
hardcore? No, we didn't.
Sizzler overjoyed to have achieved the expected sales growth in 2022.
False.
True. Yeah.
You're confidently saying true?
I'm not confidently, but I'm saying it.
Okay, going back over them. Uproar over meat quality decline causes Sizzler sales figures to plummet. Y'all both said true. That was false.
Oh.
Claim your 1-cent steak at Sizzler. Y'all said that was true. It was true.
Ooh.
I'm going to read that one. At lunchtime on Monday, Levi Dickey and John DiMolfetto dutifully ate salads, but the greens were mere stopgaps for the meat feast ahead. It'll offset some of the steak, Dickey said, casting a no-nonsense look towards his leafy plate. The friends were at Bakerfield's Real Road Sizzler restaurant. Oh, is that not?
Uh-oh.
It had Sizzler in the title.
Disqualified.
I actually don't agree. The rule is that, according to the fine dining bylaws,
Paragraph.
the headline game articles just have to contain the name of the restaurant.
Which, that is true.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we
But it
got
looks
it right.
like I didn't read it far enough. I just saw the quote in there, "You don't share penny steaks," which made me laugh. Sizzler closed to cockroach infestation, public health says. You said true. That was true.
Oh, so gross.
I couldn't resist a Garrett-esque headline. The fourth one, the tiebreaker. Sizzler overjoyed to have achieved the expected sales growth in 2022. Garrett immediately went false. VyVy, apparently not confidently, but immediately went true, and it was true. So VyVy, you win the headline game. Where do Garrett and I have to eat next week? Where do I have to go wear a Pokemon card suit next week?
Oh, well, you guys had such a bad experience at Sizzler. So I feel like, can you go the other way with it and go real fancy with your steak?
Where are we going?
Mastro's?
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could go, but I feel like I did this to you, so you guys should enjoy. You probably had enough of me.
We'll send you pictures of us just really enjoying our meat and be like, hey, you should try this. This is way better. All right, yeah, we'll go to one of the fanciest steak chains in the country.
Yeah. Maybe this is a punishment because it's so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Oh, shit. Are you going to pay for this?
No.
You suck.
I'll buy you some coffee after this.
All right, well, we didn't find the most... Oh, God, I have to wear a Pokemon card suit to Mastro's.
Yes, you do.
Am I going to get kicked out for...
No, I feel like they're going to love it.
I hope so. They will have a strong reaction one way or another, so hopefully they don't be like, yeah, you can't come in here. All right. Well, we didn't find the perfect 5.00. We got to keep looking. We're not going to find it next time.
No.
I can just tell you.
We do.
Imagine.
Mastro's is just perfectly
5.0.
mediocre. Continue following us on this journey. Continue following us on social media. We're at Fine Dining Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. VyVy, how can people find you? What do you want them to look out for? Where do you want them to look for you on social media?
Oh, gosh. I am under the username C'est la VyVy, CEST_LA_VyVy. If you want to find me on the socials. I just did a show called The Sympathizer. That'll be out on HBO in early 2024, so look out for that. But otherwise, yeah, there's some other shows out there on the internet you can watch. Mindy Project, NCIS Los Angeles.
Dogs in Space.
Dogs in Space. I love Dogs in Space. I'm so proud of that show. It's on Netflix. Watch it. It's really cute. It's got like Haley Joel Osment, Sarah Chalk, William Jackson Harper. Really solid cast. Just Netflix didn't market it. So I'm marketing it now.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We had a blast with you.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll have you on again closer to when The Sympathizer's coming out, and we can promote that then.
There we go.
And yeah, next time it won't be something of the level of Sizzler.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It could be.
Let's not make that promise.
Yeah, don't make any promises.
Yeah.
I still had a lot of fun, and I did enjoy the food way more than you guys did.
You did, yeah. So we didn't find the most mediocre restaurant. We gotta keep looking. We'll see you all next time.
Have a fine day.
The search continues. We still need the perfect five. The search continues. Like and subscribe. The search continues. Our journey did not conclude. The mother effing search continues. Write us an iTunes review. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and make it 5 stars, huh? Come on. Follow us on TikTok. The same on Instagram. All the socials at Fine Dining Podcast. We have a website, finediningpodcast.com. Buy our t-shirts, then put them on. And don't forget, you can always suggest where we go next. Okay! We're going to find it. Mediocrity. The search continues. See you next week. Hurt my throat a little.
Have a fine day.
Shrimp, shrimp, shrimp.